when you want to succeed in sports, as in other things in life, I guess, some choices that you need to make, and they make the difference between average and good, are counterintuitive.
I think it's fair to say, like, so if you're working with athletes that are trying to control weight or hit a certain number on the scale, the best diet is going to be the one that they stick to. And when you start to incorporate food that tastes good, a social aspect to meals and stuff like that, it would seem to me that it helps them stick more to the plan and make those cuts easier. So I wondered if that was like a conscious decision on your part, because my outsider's perspective is that when you do work with combat sport athletes, it's actually quite a surprising thing to them that they're able to achieve those goals and not have to eat a bag of dicks every day, metaphorically, to get to that point. Like Mikey Musumeci, he weighed in for Worlds the other day. He said it's the lightest he's been since he was 15 years old, and he was eating pizza and acai 3 days before.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, calories are important, macros are important, but the main thing is adherence. Because if there's not adherence, the athlete is not going to be compliant, or he's going to try hard for a couple of weeks or months, and then he's gonna drop out, and he's gonna eat even more and even worse because he has this need to binge eat. So my focus was really like, can we try to adapt the way I will cook for me, for my friends, to an athlete lifestyle? And that's how the whole philosophy behind Capo Nutrition started. And I was wondering, what's the dish that you like the most at my place?
I forget the the risotto that we had, okay. And then the one that you made on the first night, I forget, it was like basically it was like the cream sauce of the tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah, I think I don't remember if it was the tomato sauce or just aglio olio.
No, it was tomato sauce.
Yeah, tomato sauce. Yeah. That's a favorite. I always make it for fighters on fight day. They really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they really like it. Yeah.
Is that just because it's like low fat, high carb, easy?
Yeah, it's low fat, it's high carb, exactly, and it's tasty. So the other thing is when you approach a fight, probably you don't feel like eating too much because the adrenaline is increasing. But if I give you something that you really like, you might be like, okay, you know what? I really like this. It makes me feel good, so I'm gonna eat it. And they ended up having more carbs. And we're not talking about 1 hour from the fight. We're talking about there are athletes that start telling you, I don't want to eat 5 hours before the fight. So if they can get those, 100 to 100 grams of pasta 4 hours before the competition, it's gonna pay dividends as they approach the fight. So they love it. I guess, what makes it unique is a good quality olive oil, because tomatoes are important, but the main thing is good quality olive oil and Parmigiano Reggiano. Yeah. It's the cheese, So those two things are terrific together. And,
so you don't use the, like you get in a can from the supermarket, the Parmesan?
Here, come on, don't make me swear, Don't make me swear. We only use... There's a reason why. Because when you buy Parmesan, it's not a trademark. So you can make your own. Yeah, the emperor can make his own, but it's not Parmesan. It's not Parmigiano. Parmigiano Reggiano is a trademark. So actually, first you need to do it in a certain area of the world. Yeah, with certain type of cows, but then you need to follow certain rules. So you have a standardized product. You're not buying something like, if this Parmesan is one brand rather than another, it might really change the qualities. But Parmigiano Reggiano, 18 months, is that's it. So I know what I'm buying. I know what the athlete is eating. That's very important, and I know what taste it has.
What would you say the biggest mistakes that combat sport athletes make in nutrition, or the biggest misconceptions? Because without naming names, I think you spoke to me about an athlete before where he would just do hours of cardio per day and effectively a ketogenic diet to make weight, but he's still training and drilling hours every day on top.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you want to succeed in sports, as in other things in life, I guess, some choices that you need to make, and they make the difference between average and good, are counterintuitive. So in order to make weight, you know that, calories in, calories out, energy deficit is gonna get you the weight loss. But if you just push that to the extreme and you eat nothing and you exercise a lot, you might just, burn out. So there's an idea that after all is not wrong. So you need to have a caloric deficit, but push it to the extreme, it will take you down. It will bring you down. So that's one mistake. Thinking that more is more, sometimes less is more, sometimes rest is as important as training.
What a good energy deficit is for average sized man?
I've seen so many differences between athletes that I don't really want to drop numbers. What I can tell you is, unless we are really 3 days from the weight cut, I try with my athletes, I try to have them in like a 5% caloric deficit. But that's also, it's an approximation. That's why I don't want to drop numbers, because as of right now, with the technologies that we have, the algorithms that we have, it's very hard to assess exactly how much one athlete is burning, with the NEAT, the not exercise energy expenditure is very hard. So, an estimate, I try to have them around like 5% of caloric deficit, but that also is not every day, because I might have bigger deficits certain days, and then one day I might do the recharge. That's one of my aces. The recharges are very important, and I saw those type of protocols where there are some days, or like 2-3 days in a row when we recharge. They seem to have a very positive effect overall on the weight loss process. And you were asking me about the the misconception that athletes have, and one of them is for sure looking at like a fight camp as it is a short run, while it's a marathon. So you don't want to, as long as there's a positive trend in terms of weight loss, you shouldn't freak out if one day your weight is 3-4 pounds more than what it was expected to be, as long as overall there's a positive trend in weight loss. So unfortunately, some athletes, they freak out if every day the weight on the scale is not as they are expecting. While I try to talk to them and say, in the end, it's important if by Sunday, the end of the week, we got this weight loss.
That 7-day average, 14-day average that you track that trend over?
Usually we have goals week by week, so we'll say 7 days. But then again, really, some weeks it doesn't go according to plans, but then you analyze, maybe the athlete had very bad sleep, or I don't know, something went wrong with training. There was a little injury, and then the weight doesn't doesn't follow the plans. Still, there are cases where you should just chill, not freak out. Then obviously, if week by week you're not getting on the mark, then yes, you're on the road to not making weight. But I promise you, with that approach, with this approach I'm employing, it never happened. It happened to our opponents, on the other hand. For example, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not even talking trash. I'm just talking about the facts. When Marvin Vettori fought 2 months ago, Borrachinha, they both had to make 186. Okay, so we showed up on fight week, I believe, and Marvin was 199. So, he's a big boy. So it's 13 over. That means that he was still eating and it was 13 over. Means that you still have to remove the carbs and stuff. Water, hyperhydrated, it was having all the electrolytes. So, it's fair, I would say. But Achinha showed up at 219 and he had to make 186. So in that case, probably didn't hit the mark.
34 pounds?
Yeah, 34, of course.
33.
33, yeah, sorry. Yeah, with the pound of tolerance. But, in that case, I don't know who's taking care of the nutrition, but yeah, you should see that, the marks probably they haven't been consistently hit in the previous probably 20 weeks, because to get there.
Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Why don't you celebrate by watching more videos just like it? You can also help us on our quest to placate the algorithm gods by liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you.